So this one is all about a theory that Sutton Stracke might be to blame for Rinna's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills exit. We haven't talked about Lisa Rinna in a while. So let's see what the word on the street is. And do you believe that Sutton Stracke was actually the one behind her exit? So this is from Screen Rant. It says Lisa Rinna gave up her diamond ahead of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13. And while signs have pointed to her feud with Kathy Hilton being the reason why, Sutton Stracke may have triggered the exit. Lisa, who was introduced to the Real Housewives fans in 2014, has been involved in her fair share of arguments since the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 5. From her infamous showdown with Kyle Richards' sister Kim in Amsterdam to the public demise of her and Denise Richards' 20-year friendship. Lisa has never been one to keep her opinions quiet on one of the best reality TV shows. While Lisa is nowhere to be found on season 13, there's still curiosity regarding to why she left the show or why she was fired. Naturally, it didn't take long for Lisa to run into problems with her co-stars, especially Sutton on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12. Lisa and Sutton, who attended the Elton John AIDS Foundation Gala in 2019, couldn't agree on how Lisa scored an invitation. Sutton claimed that she bought Lisa's table, which Lisa vehemently denied. Although Diana and Erica criticized Sutton's quest for the truth, Sutton made Garcelle Bouvet happy when she produced emails that confirmed she'd paid for Lisa's table. Months after Lisa and Sutton rehashed the event in front of Bravo's cameras, Lisa announced that The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12 would be her last stint as a housewife. It's unclear why Lisa ultimately decided to part ways, but Sutton may have played an unintentional hand. Dun 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 dun. While Lisa and Kathy's feud dominated headlines throughout 2022, it was actually Lisa and Sutton's public showdown that ultimately appeared to trigger Lisa's departure from the show. When Lisa's husband, Harry Hamlin, attended the Sundance Film Festival on January 21st, a source overheard him discussing Lisa's decision to leave, which he blamed on Sutton's insistence that she paid for their spot at Elton John's event. Lisa might still be on the show had Sutton not said that, Harry reportedly said. He also claimed that IMDb gifted them tickets rather than Sutton, adding she might still be on the show, but the audience believed Sutton. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if I believe this. I think the real reason why Lisa left the show was because she made the show too dark and got called out, and there was too many dark moving parts that happened, and I think NBC decided to put her on pause. Maybe not a permanent fire, but definitely a pause, and because I think that, number one, they wanted to send a message to not just the Beverly Hills franchise, but to all of the franchises that there needs to be a cap on this. I think the fact that Lisa was the one allegedly leaking all of the stories to the press, they've come out and said for season 13, they're like, oh, do you notice how there's no spoilers? There are no more leaks, coming up to this season. I think because Lisa went against Kathy Hilton. Don't forget that, she's a Hilton. Her daughter is married to a Rothschild. But behind that, is it not just her personal money, but you have to think about advertising money, because you have to think about, what does NBC care about? NBC is a corporation. What do they care about? They care about advertisers, because advertisers is how they make money. So when Lisa went after Kathy Hilton, she didn't go after her personally. She went after the Hilton brand. The Hilton hotels, the Hilton brand, those are franchises. They have brands upon brands upon brands. Just go to Hilton.com, look up all the companies and brands they have. What do brands do? They advertise and they sponsor. So if Lisa Rinna wants to get up here and say that Kathy Hilton is a racist and a homophobe, not only is she threatening Kathy, she's threatening all of those brands. The Hilton brand that they represent. Hilton and Highland, the real estate, the hotels, everything, right? They're not going to take too kindly to that. They're not, because they are caring about public image and what that means for their bottom line when it comes to money. It's not a moral issue, it's a money issue. So I don't think it had anything to do with Sutton Stracke. I think it had everything to do with money. I think the Hiltons put in a phone call and said, listen, if you don't put a pause on Lisa Rinna, put a muzzle on your dog, then maybe we're not going to advertise. Maybe we're going to pull some of our advertising money because that could affect us. Because this is the thing. If people actually believe Lisa Rinna, say her and Erica's publicist whole scheme worked, if people are saying that about Kathy Hilton, it's not that the powers that be care about Kathy Hilton. They care about the Hilton brand and how much that brand can make money. And when you're tarnished, particularly this day and age with homophobia and racism, that can tarnish their bottom line. That is what these people care about. That's what NBC Universal cares about. That's what the Hilton brands care about. You know, they don't care about being woke. They don't care about all this little intermingling. They don't care about personal grudges. They care about the bottom line. So I'm pretty sure someone at the top said, do we make more money off of Lisa Rinna being on the Beverly Hills? Or do we make more money with all of the advertising from all of the brands under the Hilton umbrella? Because they have a lot of brands. The same way NBC Universal owns Peacock, owns NBC, owns E! News, owns Hey You, owns blah, 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 blah. The same way with Hilton. They have Hilton, blah, real estate and hotels and franchises and international places and all of that stuff. And all of their brands advertise where? On TV shows, streaming platforms like NBC. You always have to think bigger. That is why Lisa Rinna got fired. Because she came for the queen and she missed. So when people are talking about, oh, people are scared of Kathy because they want to be invited to her parties. That's not it. People are scared of Kathy because Kathy holds access and influence. That's why people are scared of Kathy. And to be honest, that's just how it is. This is how it is. Certain people hold the keys. If you don't like it, get yourself a set of keys. Get yourself your own set of keys. So that's why I think Lisa Rinna was fired. I don't think it had anything to do with Sutton. I don't think it had anything to do with Elton John tickets. I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it was the fact that Lisa came for the wrong one. Because she's done this systematically to so many people. The whole Fox Hive, even, Kyle included. Kyle and Rinna going after Denise, going after Yolanda, going after Kim, going after Lisa Vanderpump. But this was the first time they went after someone whose pockets directly affect the pockets of the powers that be, the executives, the corporation. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why, in my humble opinion, Lisa Rinna got fired. Another reason why I think this is this. It also came out that Lisa Rinna sent Kathy Hilton a bouquet of flowers and a whole apology letter, and they talked on the phone for a good 20 to 30 minutes. Because Lisa was like, I done effed up. I need to kiss the ring. I missed my shot, and I want to get back in the good graces. Because she knows it takes one phone call from Kathy for her to be back, on the good graces. That, to me, says the reason why she got fired was because she came for Kathy, not because of Sutton and some stupid Elton John tickets. That doesn't make any sense to me. Lisa Rinna, who's done everything under the sun, is going to leave the biggest paycheck she's ever seen in her life because Sutton Stracke said that she paid for Elton John tickets? Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense that Lisa Rinna would leave the biggest paycheck in her family, in her household? No shade to Harry Hamlin, but I don't think he was making as much money as Lisa was making on the Housewives. That's why we have the actors strike, because people think just because you see somebody on TV, they must be making all this money. That's not true. A lot of actors you see are not super rich or wealthy. You have your Hollywood elites who are making millions, but your average actor, your character actor, your quote working actor, even Viola Davis was talking about how much she was struggling, and she is an EGOT, you know, and she was talking about, how much she wasn't making, so just because you see people on TV, and that's why also these reality stars, a lot of them turn out not to have any money. So just because you see someone on television doesn't mean they're making money, even if they're in movies, even if they're in TV shows. There was a producer that came out. They said that they were an executive producer on a television show on Amazon Prime, and they were still driving for Lyft and Uber because they weren't making enough money as a producer on the show to make ends meet. So that's why you had the writers strike. That's why you had the actors strike, because you had the executives at the top who aren't the creatives. They're not giving their blood, sweat, and tears. They're not creating the content that we're enjoying, but they are the ones who are making all the money. They literally said, let them strike. When they start losing their apartments, they'll go back to work, while they went off on some like millionaire, billionaire island laughing it off. It's the executives and then a core group of like, A-list celebrities who are making millions up. Taraji P. Henson. The whole thing with her going against Oprah and The Color Purple and that pay disparity. I'm not going to talk too much about this on my channel because it can get to a very dark place and I'm not trying to go there. But what I'm trying to just say is open your eyes and really think about this stuff. Really look at what's going on. Just because these people are on TV doesn't mean they're making a lot of money. And I don't think someone like Lisa Rinna, and I don't mean this against her, I mean this in like a normal way. Any person who has a family or just has themselves, just their own, even if you're single, not married, no kids, you still need to eat. You still need a roof over your head. You still need clothes. You still need a car. You still need gas in your tank. You still need groceries. Any person whose number one source of income, and they don't have many other sources of income, isn't just going to walk away from that because somebody said, oh my God, I paid for a table at a gala for you. I'm not going to walk away from the biggest paycheck that's keeping a roof over my head and food in my table and gas in my car on this like a basic level. So I don't believe this. I don't think it has anything to do with Sutton Stracke. I don't know who planted this story. I don't know what is going on, but I don't believe it. But I like to bring us, different stories from different publications to dissect it and to think, do we think this is true? Does this actually make sense? Because it's also another good exercise in using our discernment. Just because something is published doesn't make it true. So we have to really think about who's pushing certain narratives, who's trying to do damage control. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if, and this might surprise you, if Kathy Hilton's team put out an article like this, because it takes the heat off of her. Oh, it was Sutton. It wasn't me and my powers and influence that did this. I'm just over here hunky-dory. You never know. You never know. But I like to bring these type of articles so that way the next time you're reading an article from any source, whether it's the New York Times or whether it's Reality Blurb, use your common sense and think, does this make any sense? Who benefits? Who doesn't benefit? What narrative does this benefit? Always, yes, consider the source, but use your own discernment all the time. You know what I mean? Just because you see it doesn't make it's true. And they always tell us, what did Evil T say? Fake news? He wasn't lying about that. There's a lot of fake news out there. So there's that. But put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think the real reason Lisa Rinna left or was fired from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And who do you think planted this story? Because I also think it's bizarre. And this is a very recent article. I didn't have to go back for this. This is a very recent article. This was updated on January 4th. Why are they updating, stuff about Lisa Rinna on January 4th when she's been gone the whole time? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, put it down below. And before you do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and shop our conspiracy theory teas, which is linked down below. So with that, let's move on to our next story. Bad news for Miss Erica Jane. Apparently, she could lose big